Thank you very much for keeping pace with us here at ONIF TV. We go straight to the matter at hand. This is serious matters. My name is Olukunle Abraham. And of course, Atiku cooked up allegations against me. Tinubu tells Supreme Court. Tinubu, in a 42 page brief of arguments filed through his team of 17 lawyers, comprising 10 senior advocates of Nigeria, urged the Apex Courts to affirm what he termed as well considered decision of the Court of Appeal, which, while sitting as the Presidential Election Petition Court, Court PECT on September 6th, dismissed the joint petition Atiku and his party entered against him, while insisting that he was validly, returned by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) as winner of the February 25th presidential poll. Tinubu told the Apex Court that by statistics, he garnered 25% of the total vote cast in 29 states of the federation. Well, you see, my one of the things that came to mind when I saw this news and I was going to discuss it is that when you say Tinubu said, the point is that does the man really know that you actually said anything? Because he has attorneys, he has people who speak on his behalf. And so it is what those people say that we now say that, oh, it's Tinubu that said it. But in the real sense of it, it's actually his attorneys, it's actually his lawyers that are speaking on his behalf. And so they are saying what they feel should be on the mind of the president. I'm sure if the president sees some of these things, he'll be wondering, when did I say this one? But then he doesn't see them at the end of the day. And that's why I've been very concerned about, all this back and forth of the articles, Chicago State University certificate saga and all of that, whether forged or not forged, and all of that. I don't have confidence in the judiciary of Nigeria. Unlike what you saw in the United States, where you had Judge Maldonado, Mr. Maldonado, say that the interest of one man cannot override the interest of a whole country, and that was on one major ground that Article got his way, or had his way, in that petition where he won and got the papers of Bola Tinubu, even though President Bola Tinubu, through his lawyers, had filed an emergency appeal, for a delay and for a blockage and all of that. Nigeria is so funny. Nigeria is so much of a comedy land that when I want to believe that in the diaspora, and when I say diaspora, I mean in the world beyond, I'm sure when they are watching channels and they just want to watch comedy, they switch to Nigeria and see what's happening there again, because the system here is so dirty. The system in Nigeria is so corrupt. I remember Mr. Dele Farrow to me, saying that he doesn't trust the judiciary. That Article 1 in the United States does not mean that he will win Nigeria. Not because he doesn't have a case, not because he doesn't have a clean slate of a matter that should actually give him take for instance, I remember Mr. Dele Farrow to me, barrister, had said that the fact that it has been proven that the certificate that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted, to INEC before this election was actually not the same thing as what CSU is actually. And so CSU had actually confirmed that they were not the one who issued that certificate. That is enough ground. But Nigeria is so much in a mess that people just have their way. Nigeria, you can define Nigeria with so many, you can define Nigeria in so many ways. Nigeria is is one nation where nobody does, somebody who is a nobody does the wrong thing and then he's punished. And so somebody who knows somebody, or who is a somebody, does the wrong thing and he's hailed. Do you get the scenario? It's that can only happen in Nigeria. That can only happen in Nigeria. Nigeria can be the only country where a sitting president, can is said to have forged his certificate and he's still sitting. And the people are not even, we do not have any what do you call it now, any trust that the Supreme Court will do justice. In fact, some of the comments I saw in the, in the bottom, at the bottom of this editorial, says that, in fact, one of them said It's not a matter of breaking it. We know we are. I mean, we're sure that we're at least some way sure that the Supreme Court will not remove Bola Tinubu. Whereas in a sane economy, in a sane country, he should be out by now, just on the ground of sincerity, the ground of openness, the ground of clarity, the ground of doing the right thing. You know, I'm not I'm not biased in any way in my thoughts, in my thinking. I just do the right thing. I just say the right thing. And of course, I just say it the way I feel it. That's the truth. If I'm to judge by what has transpired so far since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had come into office up till now, it's been terrible. Nigeria has gone from bad to worse. And that's the truth. Because all this talk and talk and talk, we're in talks, we're in talks. That was the way Buhari was in talks and talks for 8 years. They were always in talks and nothing happened eventually. You see, leadership is not about ambition, it's passion for the people that you want to lead. So it's not about self ambition. Oh, I there is nobody that does not dream to become big or become something or become great. Nobody. There's nobody. Everybody wants to become something. Everybody has a picture of what he wants to become. But then, how to get there? And so, one of the most sensitive positions that you can ever aspire to get to is the position of the president. When you become a president, you must know what to do. Not this idea of, for instance, subsidy is gone, and subsidy is still being paid on the background. Because I understand that by now we should be buying fuel for as high as about 1,000 naira. And so thanks that subsidy is still being paid underground. You see, our problem is not about whether subsidy is paid or not. Our problem is not about that we are buying fuel for 800 naira or 700 naira. You see, even if we have to do so, if the government comes out clean and clear with us and tells us this is the way it is, and are very sincere in their dealings with us, we can't have senators who are earning millions, hundreds of millions for sitting. The cost of governance is too high. People can now go to any length to get a political appointment, to win election, just because they know that once they get there, they're going to be fine. Whereas it's supposed to be about the people. In fact, leadership is supposed to be a burden. It's supposed to be burdensome because when you enter the seat of leadership, there is a burden on you, and that is the burden of the people. Unfortunately, in this terrain, we have people who get into office and they now employ thousands, 1,000, special assistants. And my question is, which one will you now be doing? What will you now be doing when you have 300 special advisors? So a governor who has less than 1 year, I guess, to go, now employing almost 300 special advisors to do what, please? Advisors on what? Just to dole out money when infrastructures can be put in place to make our lives better. Well, let me go a little bit further on Tinubu's, brief of argument. He told the court that the former vice president and the PDP only managed to secure 25% of the total votes in 21 states of the Federation, as against the constitutional requirements of 24.7 states, which is the mathematical result of two-thirds of the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. Now, of course, he said, and the FCT. They have told us that it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Well, Tinubu maintained that having secured the highest number of valid votes cast and having fulfilled all constitutional requirements in that regard, INEC had no option than to declare him as the winner of the presidential contest. Well, according to President Tinubu, the hyperbolic character of the foregoing allegations was exposed by the petition itself, which had no facts in support of it. Well, he said there it was at this point they rolled out their drums of cooked up allegations of discrepancies in the second respondent's academic qualification, dual nationality, and sundry bemusing allegations from the back door. While they also claimed to have won the highest number of vote cast at the election. As against INEC's declaration throughout their petition, they did not suggest an alternative score which they considered correct, whether for themselves or the respondent. Of course, they went on to say that the court should dismiss Atiku's appeal. He urged the Supreme Court to dismiss Atiku's appeal as lacking in merit and not to affirm the election and return of the respondent by an INEC as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having scored highest number of lawful votes cast and fulfilling all constitutional requirements. But then, as I round up, is it all about just scoring the highest votes? What about, have we finished with the issue of submitting forged results and certificates? Have we sorted the issue of nationality, name, and all of that? You see, like I said earlier on, it's about coming clean and clear. There's no way you will not struggle if your ways are not clear, if you don't do things the right way, if you don't get things the right way. If you go through the roof, you such a person is called a thief. You going through the burglary, such a person is called a thief. But when you go through the door, I mean, especially see, as long as you are not holding a master key or holding an extra key that nobody knows where it came from. So as much as possible, we should, come out clean and clear and understand that if you don't get into a place, especially the place of leadership, the right way, then there is a high probability that you will not perform. Because while they are challenging, of course, I pray he is able to concentrate, because the effect of not concentrating is actually it's actually prevalent, in the way things are in the country and around the world today. I mean, around the country today. Well, we hope that things turn out well, and we'll hook up and see how things pan out with respect to this petition, and see, what the end is going to be. Is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu going to be removed, or there's going to be a rerun, or what have you? Thank you very much for watching. This is Still Serious Matters here at TV. Please share videos, or drop a comment, make them simple and savable.